father went to prison. He did 15 years straight. I met him when I went to prison at 15, with 15 years, to say the least. From to 11, I experienced watching my mother shoot heroin, shoot cocaine. You know, all of my immediate family, aunts, uncles had drug problems. And I saw a lot of people die. A lot of people get shot. I saw a lot of prison. I saw a lot of bad, a lot.
Given the prevalence of community violence and poverty, the effects of ACEs are not limited to a child or their family. ACEs are a systemic problem that affects many facets of society. Some of those problems, such as educational absenteeism, unemployment, substance abuse disorders, and incarceration, were central to the plot in The Wire. One aspect the series did not place much focus on, however, was depression.
Dear depression, we go way back. I remember the first time I met you. I was 7 years old, a pig-tailed lover of books, teased for the sneakers my mother could barely afford.
In North America alone, 30 to 40% of all cases of depression can be attributed to an average childhood experience. In Maryland, it's estimated that 1 in 5 children between the ages of 5 and 18 require treatment for mental health or substance abuse. In Baltimore City, over 30% of middle and high school students report depressive symptoms. 20% of these students have seriously considered suicide, and 16% of these students have gone as far as making a suicide plan. As alarming as this data is, it's more alarming when one considers that between 60 and 90% of all youth with mental health disorders do not seek out or receive the services they need.
I am letting go. I am letting failure go. I am letting loneliness go. I will not give up. You will not silence me. Sincerely, Tanya.
Although the psychological impact of ACEs is well recognized, few realize that repeated exposures have the potential to change a developing brain psychologically, biochemically, and structurally. Studies have shown that expressive arts, such as theater and music, can similarly cause physiological changes that help counter some of these negative effects. Given the profound impact environmental exposures can have on the developing mind, our project aims to provide a safe, creative space where children between the ages of 5 and 18 can congregate and learn skills to help them identify, express, and cope with the variety of emotions they may be dealing with at any given time.
Who are the major players in the game of ACEs and mental health care in Baltimore City? The city has over 21% living in poverty. Many are in desperate need of resources and support. The public school district reaches almost 78,000 students. Many social and health services are provided for food insecurity, mental health care, and mindfulness programs. There's important legislation to increase minimum wage and protect children from abuse. The mayor's office also works to tackle homelessness, family success, safety, and jobs. The police department employs over 3,100 personnel. Despite attempts at community policing initiatives, there's a lack of trust in the force. Utilization of emergency services tends to outweigh the use of preventative wellness services. There's also a negative stigma around mental health care, particularly for racial minority groups. Many gaps exist in the present playing field. Most interventions focus on early childhood years and fail to address the needs of teens. Many programs have accessibility and affordability challenges.
Representative Elijah E. Cummings, a native Baltimorean, recognized the significance of ACEs and the impact that it had on children. He was a strong advocate for additional support, especially in his city of Baltimore.
State and local health agencies are on the front lines of the childhood trauma crisis. They are confronting many of the negative health consequences that trauma produces. Sadly, I see this every day in my city of Baltimore, where far, far too many of our community's children are suffering severe trauma, including experiencing or witnessing violence, or losing parents to violence, incarceration, or substance use.
Baltimore has an enormous amount of violence. It has challenges. It has a lot of trauma, but today is a day for healing.
The signing of the Elijah Cummings Healing City Act into law.
He always said, the only question is, what kind of message are we sending? With this act, we are sending a message of hope.
The law creates a citywide task force to identify ways to reduce childhood trauma and requires training at all city agencies to understand and better respond to trauma.
Our proposal is the establishment of the Elijah E. Cummings Center for the Creative Arts, a community center located in the heart of Baltimore that focuses on providing children an opportunity to explore enrichment activities and programs through music, art, and other creative accolades. The center will operate as a nonprofit entity and actively engaged in revitalizing the community through developing, programming, organizing, and AC's advocacy. We'll be engaging the community youth through enriching activities like music and art lessons to help build skills, resilience, and confidence. Our goal is to create an environment for children who have lived through adversity and traumatic experiences to have a space for their free to express themselves. Providing access to additional clinical resources for additional treatments, therapies, and family counseling will also be essential, and therefore our center will be staffed with the appropriate certified healthcare workers to do this important work. Our hope is that through this center, we're able to provide children the adequate tools and resources to build resilience and confidence, to therefore help break the cycle of ACEs that holds a tight grip on our city.
Utilizing music education and creative arts provides a sense of structure and control to youth who have experienced ACEs. According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, music engages the neocortex and assists with mood regulation. In addition, playing instruments can encourage emotional expression, socialization, and exploration of various therapeutic themes.
In 5 years, the Elijah E. Cummings Center for Creative Arts, ECC, will provide trauma-informed care via creative arts programming to Baltimore City youth with the success measured by participation and engagement. As a nonprofit organization, the ECC will meet the needs of the community without the use of an often limited clinical model of mental health care. Inspired by Wallace from The Wire, who endured numerous adverse childhood experiences, living in West Baltimore City community, the ECC hopes to mitigate exposure to these traumas and provide healing modalities through creative arts. The nonprofit values creativity, compassion, expression, resilience, and security for those that it serves.
Technical feasibility of the ECC depends on the engagement of the stakeholders on the board. All parties must be involved and provide input in order for the center to be successful. Financial feasibility depends on government funding in addition to community donations. Finally, community buy-in and engagement is another critical success factor. Word of mouth will be important initially, with an outcome or evidence-based marketing strategy important to long-term sustainability.
Upon completion of a community feedback survey, the center's physical location will be in a highly accessible and high-need area. We plan to rehabilitate a vacant property in Baltimore City and ensure the space is safe, secure, and up to code. Our board will establish the center as a 501(c) nonprofit organization and submit and keep up with the necessary paperwork. Meeting the needs of the center's target population is our top priority. All personnel and volunteers will be appropriately screened and trained in trauma-informed care, no matter their role. Teens engaging in creative arts programming can be free to explore, have fun, build skills, and heal at the center.